Hello and welcome everyone to a new episode of Jekyll Geek's RPG realm of the Fabula Ultima solo play, let's play, actual play. That's a lot of words. I'm not sure if all of them really apply. But this is a sort of a restart to the Fabula Ultima let's play, solo play, actual play, in which I, instead of going for the traditional Dragon Quest 3 framework, I've decided to try something different, namely Rune Factory. Part of what led me down this rabbit hole, or rather decision, is that I was finding that the framework that I was trying didn't really work out for this system, mainly because of two things. And partially what I learned about this is that the strengths of Fabula Ultima are in its more flexible ritual system and its character-focused system. And the thing is, a Dragon Quest III framework is a very traditional RPG, which is something that Fabula Ultima is supposed to emulate. But it is a very non-character focused one, as your hero is little more than a self-insert that goes from quest to quest, collecting the keys and then the orbs, and then knocking over the Demon Lord, and spoilers, knocking over the other Demon Lord after doing this once again. Whereas Fabula Ultima, especially something that is the natural fantasy framework, and even though I've looked through it and it doesn't list it as a direct system inspiration, I believe that Rune Factory will work out a lot better than Dragon Quest III did. With pretty much all Rune Factory games, you start off as an amnesiac that lines up in the middle of a somewhat run-down village that you need to help repair. And you farm and craft, and you go to dungeons along the way. Actually, I think I'll just use this looks like a nicer tote. But you start out with no skills, and unlike some other games where you have a set class or you can choose whatever on level up, in every Rune Factory game you start off with no skills, and whatever you do, you get better at. So I decided to figure out what my character would be good at, to start by going through a sort of a simulation of what most Rune Factory games would be starting off as. And for our first quest, we'll have Shara come and say, "Oh, hello, hero. What is your name?" I will call myself Jackie. That's what I always put, since you can put your name. And you're pretty much an amnesiac. And just about in every game, the first task you are given is you have to learn how to farm, because because this game is a sort of a fantasy spin-off of a more traditional farming simulator, Harvest Moon, which eventually became Story of Seasons due to some legal stuff, which I'm not really going to go into. But the important thing is you have to start farming, and you pretty much start off every time with some overrun field that needs to be cleared. So I'm going to do as my first task is I'm going to try a might skill to clear the field. A 9. I'm going to list how good I did. And using how good I did, I will use that to determine what my character would be good at. So we start off, Jackie starts farming, clearing away the fields, and he does some good, but not really that good. So next, he's going to have to try to do some watering, which I'm going to list that as a dexterity test. And that is an 8. Task 2. 8. Dex. 1. Okay, so next, let's see what he has some good rolls. Next I'm going to have to figure out what would be a good insight check for, well, actually, I think it would be, well, Jackie's not going to do too good at farming, so he's going to try foraging off into the wilderness, and he's going to try that as his insight. Oh, and he did very good. Okay, 15. That's foraging. So next, Jackie finds something. And when he starts foraging, he does very good. But he also comes along a creature known as a woolly. A woolly is a sort of a basic creature in Rune Factory games, which is a bipedal shape, and is even more important in the Rune Factory 3 games, which is where Sherry comes from. But that is neither here nor there. And for his next task, we'll have Jackie try to tame the woolly. This is normally something you do a bit later after you build a barn, but I'm doing this to figure out his skills. And he gets a 12. 4, 12, 8. So he does actually fairly well, and since woolies are kind of easy to tame, he manages to bring the woolly back to his monster barn, even though when you're starting out you don't have a monster barn. Actually, let's decide something, that the monster barn needs some wood to start to repair it, and Jackie decides that he gets a cheap axe, which is pretty much the next thing you get after this, from the local town guard, English is forte. This is his forte, not saber, but he gives Jackie an axe, and he goes over to start chopping the woods, and it's chop, chop, plonk. And he finds that the old cheap axe is in fact too old and too cheap, and it breaks. So, Jackie's going to need to get a new axe. Yeah, and when he does, he goes to the blacksmith, which is I'm choosing Raven because anybody who's played Rune Factory 3 decides she is best girl. And I can go into this partially because it was a 2010 and she was one of the first decently created tsunderes in about 20 years. But she says, oh, well, Jackie, you need an axe. In that case, you need to go start mining to get some materials for this. And she hands you a cheap hammer. So, Jackie, for his next task, will go over and try to mine some ore with that will be a knife skill. And he gets a 7. And the thing is, in Rune Factory, you ultimately can't do this, but it takes a lot of work for Jackie to do this. So, he eventually comes out with some iron ore and returns it to Raven, and Raven shows him some of the basics how to make a new axe. And however, that task will require dexterity, and then we'll try dexterity roll for him. And got 8 dex smithing. Oh, that wasn't too good. So. But now Jackie will try to... Well, I guess it's better than nothing. Humph. Raven walks away. So, Jackie finds that he's not really good at farming or blacksmithing, but he was good at foraging. And one day, he talks to the local item shop tender, so Lucy from Rune Factory 5. Wow, you tried all that. Maybe you should try fishing. Fishing is really good way to make money and fill your belly. So Jackie's going to try a fishing task, and he gets an 8. You could do better, but even with a small fish, you can make some tasty meals. And the local, oh, you caught some fish. Maybe you can make some sashimi with that. Sashimi is really good, and you should try it once you make it. So, Becky nods and decides try an inch task for cooking, and does an 8. Yeah, Jackie isn't that good at much, but he is good at foraging and taming. Huh. Well, I guess you can't be good at everything. Sakia walks away. And let's see what. And so next, Jackie goes about his days trying to farm and forage and slowly make money. And let's see. Let's have him. One day, Forte comes and asks, I've heard that there's some strange tracks. Well, you're not really great at much, but maybe you could try finding the location of where these tracks are, which is harming the other farms in the village. Yeah, normally you're somehow the only farmer in the village in most rune factory games. How does the rest of the village eat? I don't know, but Jackie nods and takes up Forte's request, and let's see. Oh, he does very good. And let's see. 9, 14, hint, tracking. And since Jackie has no weapon skills yet, he finds some monsters at the end of the trail and tells Forte about it. And Forte thanks him for this and pays him a small amount and goes about her way, as she needs to handle the monsters herself, as she is a trained warrior. And let's see. I'm going to just try a random roll. Okay. Actually, no, it'd be 8. Okay, Raven says, well, I hear you're not that great, but I hear you are kind of smart. I've heard that the boiler at Sakia's place has gone out. Could you try to fix that? And Jackie nods, and he's going to try that, which... I shouldn't have trusted him. Okay, 6. Sakia comes up. Well, Jackie, I heard you're good at tracking, but maybe let's see if you're any good at instruments and entertaining. And Jackie nods and tries to entertain some of the. Oh, and he does very bad at that. 3. Well, entertaining. So, let's see. What would Jackie be? He's good at tracking. He's kind of a ranger type of person, in a way. And most games, most Rune Factory games, until you get to Guardians of Ozma, you don't really get a bow. But this is not Rune Factory per se, but Fabula Ultima. And let's see. So, let's see. He did too much. I guess. Okay, I'm going to have it. What would be? So, a couple of days later, another storm happens, and some more rocks fall in Jackie's pool. Well, let's see if he's gotten any stronger. Oh yes, he's gotten a lot stronger. And Mary. And I'm going to say he's good. Lucy tries it. Oh, I had a lot of problems with, I need to have someone, I need to go out of town for a while and have someone cover for me. Will you cover for me as a local merchant? And Jackie nods, and he tries a will task, and does not do so great. Let's see. A 7 will merchanting. But okay. So after the storm, somehow Becky comes across a spirit wolf. And let's see if he can bond with the spirit wolf. No, he does not. And the spirit wolf walks away and is sad. And let's trying to figure out something. That's not a clear. And Jackie comes across an unconscious woman lying in the middle of the road, and he tries his medicine to wake her up, and does not do very good. But she wakes up and says, yeah, I'm Clark. I needed to... I was going to go to the library. The lady of the mansion wanted to needed some work at the, what you call it, with magic. And I'm going to see if Jackie is good at elemental magic, as he has to do Orica's work at the library because she falls asleep doing something. And now, okay, so Jackie's not too good at much many things. He only did really well in about 4. So it looks like Jackie might be a bit of a ranger. going to create his character using that. You can try something like that if you're making your own sort of Fabula Ultima or any sort of game to just do some basic tasks like I did. Hopefully it'll turn out better than I did, but you can see what they are good at. And I hope you had a good and entertaining time watching this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.